yet, but I always do this in the beginning because people think that this is a video I recorded. I'm just sitting here, like not saying anything, like I didn't edit that part out. So I always say stuff in the beginning until people come in. So everybody knows this was a live. Today it's 5:10 on Saturday, the 13th of, what is it, we're in September? Whew, year's almost up. So it's been 30 seconds. Usually about now people start coming in. But if you watch us in the future, this was a live. That's why I'm just sitting here. There's no editing alive. If you don't know what that is, there's no editing alive. You just do stuff live. Oh, I got 4 people in here. Oh, I gotta lock my bench. Hold on, it keeps moving on me. Hey guys, how you doing? What's up, Terry? How you doing, brother? Where's that sister? Lisa, what's up, sister? What's up, creature? How you doing, brother? Doing a live. How's everybody's Saturday gone? It's already, there's 10 people in here now. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Betty, how you doing? Terry, how are you doing? Your brother, Terry? Okay. I think he told me that before. One fat chicken. I like that. Hi, how you doing, one fat chicken? Caroline, what's up, Caroline? JASCO Pico train. Who remembers that? Roscoe Pico train. What show is that from? We should do that today. I should do like, if you guys can figure out what show certain things are from. Good evening, Mr. Doogie. Is that Doogie Howser? Hi, David from Texas. Got my grandbabies here tonight. I'm very distracted. How old are your grandbabies? You're getting ready to eat some powdered donuts. You can still eat them. Dukes of Hazzard. That's the correct answer. Terry said it first. Those Dukes. Yep. They almost got canceled. The Dukes of Hazzard. 7 and 5. We don't have no grandbabies yet. My daughter's 23. We only got one kid. I got my daughter, and she's 23. She don't have any kids yet. But she just gave us a grand kitten. Did you see that kitten that was in my last video? Eating the candy out of the top of that pumpkin head. That was my daughter's kitten. So we're grandparents to a kitten. Yeah, them Duke boys. Old Boss Hog. You met Roscoe twice? Where at? Oh, he lived near you? Where do you live at? Torties? What's Torties? Kittens are great. This one is a wild one. All my other animals are afraid of her. This kitten. My dogs don't know how to back off. The dogs, like, you know how dogs are. They get in your face and they sniff. And they do that to the kitten. And she just starts smacking them in the face. So they're afraid of her. All the dogs and the other big cat are afraid of her. Caldwell County, North Carolina. That's where he was from. Where was Dukes of Hazzard filmed? I don't even know. Yeah, that's what those are called, the black and orange patchwork kitties. Yeah, she looks so Halloween. Maybe I'll share the picture, but I used ChatGPT to make a Halloween picture of her where they put her. She put her inside of or no, it was in front of a haunted house. It came out really good. Which we very like you, and a lot of us in the chat was speaking very highly. Oh, thank you, creature. I appreciate that. How is he doing? He put up a video and I meant to watch it because I don't know why he has been out. I haven't seen him in a while, and I never heard why he hasn't been making videos. I know he was having some stomach problems. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. What's up, Steve? Who's got the cheese? I got some toe cheese. Bearded Viking. We were just talking about you, brother. How you doing, man? I was just asking where you been at, because I haven't seen you, and I haven't seen anything that you said while you were out. I know you had told me you had some stomach problems. You had to have part of your stomach removed. Back when I was going for my colonoscopy. Filmed in Georgia, huh? I didn't know that. Was originally from Powderly, Kentucky. Yeah, because Hazard County isn't real, right? That's made up. GA. What's another good show from back then that ain't around anymore? Who used to watch like the Bionic Man and Bionic Woman? Steve Austin and I can't remember what her name was. Steve said the last colonoscopy he got the doctor did it with both hands on his shoulder. I was out. I don't even know what happened. I don't know where he was putting his hands. Wow, bed rent. I'm sorry, brother. That sucks, man. Hey, Philip, how you doing, brother? Jamie Summers, yep. Wonder Woman fan, Linda Hamilton. Yeah, I got all those DVDs. I bought them for my daughter when she was younger. She didn't really like them. They were kind of boring. Like, you know, compared to new stuff, like the shows back then were a little bit slower. And Wonder Woman was a little slow for her, so she didn't really get into them. But I bought her the whole DVD set because I loved that show too. The way she used to spin in a circle. What was her name? Linda Carter? Was it Linda Carter? Is James Best, was he Roscoe P. Coltrane? Yep, Linda Carter, yep. She was pretty. I was disappointed with the new Wonder Woman because she was so skinny and tiny. I remember, like, they're supposed to be Amazonian. I remember Linda Carter had some meat on her. That new Wonder Woman was, I think, too skinny to be a Wonder Woman. I mean, she's pretty, but, like, I don't think she was a Wonder Woman. Bad Cats. 240, Robert. What's Bad Cats? Best was Roscoe. Yeah, Roscoe Pico Train. She was your childhood crush, Bearded Viking? Yeah, she was pretty hot. And I thought the other one was hot too. Jamie Summers. Who played her? I can't remember her name. I don't remember any of these people's names anymore. Me and my older sister, we used to pretend like we were the bionic man and woman. She was Linda Carter at 74 years old. Yeah. Wasn't she in that Dukes of Hazzard movie they did in the early 2000s? You remember that? She was married to Uncle Jesse, I think, or she was somebody in there. Does she still look good? I haven't seen her in a long time. I know she looked good like in the early 2000s. They were in that, she was in a movie, I think it was the Dukes of Hazzard remake. Linda Carter. Or am I thinking of the one that played Daisy Duke? Who played Daisy Duke? You remember Daisy Duke? DuckTales was your favorite creature? From the late 80s? I don't think I watched DuckTales. I think I think that was I was too old for cartoons by then. Well, I was more watching like Transformers and stuff. Transformers, G.I. Joe, GoBots, Voltron. Not married to Uncle Jesse, but she was in the film. Yeah, I didn't know if she was married to Uncle Jesse. And Uncle Jesse was that singer. What's his name? The one that went to jail for not paying taxes. Willie Nelson. Never too old for cartoons. No, I was never too old for cartoons, but the DuckTales was a little bit, you know, when you're becoming a teenager, you don't want to watch anything that's considered kiddish. So I was kind of older, so I could only watch the cool ones. He-Man was one of my favorites. Scooby-Doo. I did watch Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. Did anybody watch He-Man? Willie Nelson. Yep. Betty. Yep. Willie Nelson. He played Uncle Jesse. Is he still alive, Willie Nelson? Was that Denver Pile? What's that? Thundercats. Yep, I remember Thundercats. Hey, Cedar Gross. We're talking about old cartoons and old shows. I used to get hyped on He-Man, where he would hold the sword up and be like, I have the power. Oh, I used to get the chills when I was a kid and watch that part. By the power of Grayskull. That's the one, creature. I used to get hyped up. Wonder Twins activate. Did you ever see the one they did? And I thought it was real. It looks real, but it's not a real one. It's a parody of the Wonder Twins. And he's like, Wonder Twin. He's like, form of, and then something happens. He's like, oh shit. And he turns into poop. And it's funny, dude. You got to look those up if you guys haven't seen them. Bad Cats was a copy of Starsky and Hutch with Nova. 240 Robert was the show with a 7879 Broncos for the LASD. I never saw that one. What's up, DIY home? How you doing? Thundercats, yo! Yeah, the Thundercats were good. They don't make cartoons like that good anymore. I mean, I'm older now, so who knows? But even when my daughter was little, they didn't really have any good cartoons. What do they have now? These kids don't do nothing but play video games and stuff now and go on social media. I couldn't even tell you a cartoon. I heard they came out with another X-Men cartoon. I saw that on something. Powerpuff Girls. I never watched them. They were a little bit after my time. But my daughter watched them. How old are you, Caroline? Thunder the Barbarian. Yeah, I remember that. Was his name Thundar? J.R. Ewing was great, yeah. That was a little bit older for me. My mom used to watch that, though. I was born in 74, so I just turned 50 this last year. Yeah, my daughter loved Powerpuff Girls when she was growing up. Bugs Bunny, yeah. Bugs Bunny was funny. We were just talking about Bugs Bunny. What did we see? They had some crazy stuff on those shows, if you ever watch them. We grew up watching all that stuff. Remember all the violence they had in the cartoons when we were kids? Like Wile E. Coyote used to drop stuff. Yeah, Dynasty was it. I remember that. You're 54? Gilligan's Island cartoon? I never even knew they had a cartoon for Gilligan's Island. I was just talking to somebody the other day. Somebody said something about I was a skipper. And I was like, from Gilligan's Island? They're like, what's that? They didn't even know what Gilligan's Island was. Marshall, Will, and Holly finished the line. Marshall, Will, and Holly. I don't know what that is. Who knows that? Marshall, Will, and Holly. Batman. Yeah, I like Batman. Do you remember the Batman show? I used to watch that every day. Where they would leave you hanging. You're going to go see what? Me and my better half are going to go see Elvis, Bob Joyce, October 10th. Where are you going to see that at, Steve? Oh, you guys it's going too fast for me. I'm a slow reader, guys. I'm sorry. Love the end table build. You made 4 of those end tables? That's awesome, man. York, PA, Dad. That's awesome. If you get a chance, put them on my community page so I can see how they come out. Did you stain them? A lot of people like those. That was one of my popular videos. November 1974, December 1974. Here, creature. December. Almost made it to 1975. Yeah, we turned out okay, right? What didn't last too long, Caroline? Land of the Lost. I remember that with the little lizard people. They were like, I can't remember the noise they made. It was something like that. Land of the Lost. Marshall, Will, and Holly. Oh, okay. Land of the Lost. Marshall, Will, and Holly. That was the 3 people on that show. That brings back memories. Land of the Lost. That show used to freak me out when I was a kid. Green Hornet and Kato. Yeah, I remember that. Pow, bam, zoink. Yep, Batman. Espresso, Stain, and Polly. You did all 4 of them the same color? That's awesome. Did you do them all for the same house, or did you sell them? How about the Roadrunner? Yep, the Roadrunner. We were just talking about that. Wile E. Coyote, that was the Roadrunner. Well, that wasn't the Roadrunner. He was the Coyote on the show. We were talking about how he used to like drop stuff on people on, or the Roadrunner used to drop stuff on his head, how violent it was. A low fold-up table for your granddaughter's 3rd birthday party. Are you doing it in a video? Sigma the Sea Monster, yep. Remember they used to have that race with all them kids, all the cartoons used to get like the Flintstones, and they were all in that race every week. They had that one, I think he was a whale, and he used to go, rapple dapple. Oh no, he was a genie. Rapple dapple. And then they had the a shark on there that was really afraid of everybody. That's awesome, York, PA. That's awesome. Did they like him? HR Puffin Stuff. Yeah, I remember that. That was trippy, man. That was like, you're doing a video? Okay, I'll keep an eye out for it, man. Oh, the community page? So if you go on my main page, I think you can only do it from the phone, though. I don't think you can do it from your PC. I think you can only do it from your phone. Maybe if somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think you can only do it from your phone. If you go to my main YouTube page, right at the top, there's a thing that says go to community page. And you click on that and it brings you to, it's sort of like a news feed like you would see on like Facebook or something like that maybe. Just not as complicated or as fancy. Like I don't know if you could share video. I think you can only share like pictures and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people sharing some pretty cool pictures on there if you guys ever check it out. What's up, Zoidberg? How you doing, brother? Penelope Pit Stop. I remember her. Wacky Racers. Is that the name of the show? I can't even remember who was all on it. I remember that one Panther dude. There was a lot of different cartoons all on that one show. I think even maybe Scooby-Doo was on there. Captain Caveman. You remember Captain Caveman? That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Yeah, if you get a chance and you can find my community page, if you don't mind, throw some pictures up so we can see how they came out. I love seeing the stuff other people make. Bill, sit and finish this verse. Yeah. I remember I'm just a Bill. It was that guy. He was like a rolled up piece of paper. It was in between cartoons on Saturday morning. Who else watched Saturday morning cartoons? I used to watch them every Saturday. Oop. Good to see you, Luis. How you doing, brother? Yogi Bear. Yep, I remember Yogi Bear. The Anthill Mob was on. I don't remember them. I have to look it up. I have to look it up again and see. I barely remember who was on there. But it was Hanna-Barbera, wasn't it? All the cartoons from Hanna-Barbera were on there. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. That's it, Lisa. I couldn't remember the name of it. I always tell my daughter about all this stuff, and she's just like, okay, I don't care. Snidely, oh yeah, I remember Snidely Whiplash and Molly. I remember them. Schoolhouse Rock, yup. Conjunction function. What you? Yeah, I remember that, man. What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother? Yep, Schoolhouse Rock. We're talking about old cartoons. Where did Bearded Viking go? Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing, brother? Good to see you in here, man. Sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well. Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yep, I remember that show. I remember the Pink Panther. I used to watch the Pink Panther cartoon. You see my shirt? You guys never get to see the shirts I'm wearing because I'm always wearing an apron. I'll be in my office. My wife got me this. It's like a little workbench. The Bicentennial Minute. Man, I can't remember that one. You might have to refresh my memory. I'm just a Bill. You remember that, Dan? You're going to wait when you come to Vegas? What? Are you coming out for vacation? When are you going to be on the Strip? Eric was just out here and I missed him. Hello, White's Woodworking. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Texas, huh? I was a Popeye fan too. Used to make me eat spinach. Then I was just watching this video on YouTube where the guy said spinach is bad for you. You coming out to Vegas for vacation? Dude, it's getting so crowded out here. You're coming out at a good time. The weather's been kind of nice. It's only 90 degrees right now. The high today was only 91. It's 86 in my garage. Kim of the White Line, Underdog, and Speed Racer for the old Gen X's. Yeah, I remember them. I remember Speed Racer. I don't remember Kim of the White Lion, but I do remember Underdog. Remember Mr. Magoo? Bicentennial Minute was in 1976 only. Short bits to celebrate America's 200th anniversary. Yeah, I was only 2. I don't remember that. I wonder if I could find it on YouTube though. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. I never remember to say like hit the like button or anything like that. No, my community page is right here on YouTube. If you go to my main YouTube page on your phone, go to the main YouTube page. Like there should be a tab at the top or a button that says community page. I would show you, but I'm on my phone, or I can't even show you what it looks like. Yeah, those were the days. They don't make cartoons. They don't even make shows like they did. They stopped making good TV, I think, back in like the 90s. I don't think there was too many good shows. That's why people still watch all those shows. That's mostly what we watch, like 90s sitcoms. Channel 52. I know what channel's 52. I think everywhere you live, channel 52 is different. Oh yeah, Mr. Magoo. He was half blind. What's the coolest thing I made? Man, probably I think it was when I first started learning how to do drawers and stuff. I made a kitchen buffet. I'll show it to you guys if you want to see it. Try to upload the end tables, but it tells me no media is available. I'll keep trying. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I would say that. I'll show you guys the breakfast buffet I made. Let me go into the house. Well, not breakfast buffet. It's just a buffet. My house is kind of messy, so don't make fun of me. Oh, my wife's on there. That's my end table that I made. But I made this. This was one of the first things when I learned how to make cabinet doors and stuff. And then I made that to match it. It's a shoe holder for when you come in the front door. My wife's watching my live. So I can't say nothing bad about her, guys. Yeah, that was when I first learned to do, and I built these cabinets in here. Not the doors and stuff. The doors I had from some other cabinets, but I built these in my laundry room. And then I have the video where I built those. That's when I started making videos, when I started doing the stuff in my garage. She is a saint. She is a saint. If you guys only knew. She asked me, what are you going to talk about in your live? And I said, I'm going to complain about you. That should take a long time. And she just laughed. We like razzing each other. Yeah, everybody says, even my sisters are like, I don't know how you haven't killed him. What's up, John up north? How you doing, brother? Yeah, we get along really good. Yeah, I always embarrass her when we go to the stores. Them fart noises I do in the videos, I do those at the store. When my daughter was little, we had a thing where we would do together, but now my daughter's 23. She thinks I'm stupid for doing it. But when she was little, she went along with it. I would do a fart noise. I'd be like, and she would go, ooh, mama. And my wife would get so mad at us. What am I going to do when No Shave November comes? I don't know. I'm probably going to shave. I don't really, my beard grows like a bush. It doesn't grow straight. It's like curly. It's like really curly. So when it grows out, it doesn't even look long. It just looks all curly and it gets up like this. My wife hates it. I did marry up. I did marry up. That's why I had to learn woodworking. When you marry up, you got to learn something to keep them around. I had to learn how to make her all kinds of stuff. You bought a Wen bandsaw? That's awesome, Diana. What'd you make? I was thinking about getting the Wen bandsaw. It looks pretty good. I keep you cracking up. Did you find the community page good, Betty? Can dogs eat shrimp? I don't know. I probably wouldn't give it to them. Ask Google. See you, brother. Have a good one, DIY home. You're gonna shave Oak? Oh, thank you, wife. She's just saying that. Yeah, I try to like. I'm not the best woodworker, and I know that, so I try to make it funny. It was funny because if you go to my older videos, I wasn't as jokey. But then I wasn't getting any views, and I was just like, "What the hell? Nobody's watching anyways." And I just started saying goofy stuff, and then people liked the goofy stuff I was saying. So I just started becoming more myself in the videos. Yeah, right. If they don't find you handsome, they might as well find you handy. Oh, you didn't want to get off and Google it? Yeah. I wish I knew, dude. I don't know. I can't Google it either. I always ask before I give them stuff. Because I give them all kinds of crazy stuff. Your bandsaw is like an oversized scroll saw. What kind of bandsaw do you have, Dan? The Jet 14-inch didn't come with a blade, and those are expensive, aren't they? That's crazy. But you know what? The blades they give you anyways, like mine came with a blade, the Grizzly one I got, and it was a crap blade. Like I thought I got a bad machine, and then I put a different blade in it, and it worked great. So sometimes they give you crappy blades anyways. You once told a lady that her beard made her look thinner. It didn't seem to cheer her up. That's funny, Betty. That's like something I would say. Badur figured out the upload. All right. It's a little tricky, you know, like I feel bad because if you guys put stuff on my community page, I don't get alerts for it. I don't know why. I don't get alerts when somebody else puts something on my community page. If you comment on something I put, I get alerts. But if you don't comment, but if I don't go on and check it, I have to actually go to the community page to check it. I can't go to my notifications. It doesn't tell me. I don't know if there's a setting that I don't have on. So if you guys put something on my community page, it takes me a couple days to, that's why, because it doesn't give me notifications. And then when I do go to the community page, the original, like I realize that it puts it in order of top post or something. And unless I change the order to newest post first, it's, I don't know, like I can't see who just posted something. It shows me like old posts for some reason. And it always defaults to that. You just turned a platter with your lathe? Yeah, I want to get a lathe, man. That looks like fun. If I just need more room. I don't have any room to put anything else. I need to get a 2-car garage. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to keep the builds basic because that's what I'm the best at, the basic builds. Some of the more complicated stuff I'm not that good at, so you'll see a lot more mistakes. But I did that because also when I would watch some other woodworkers videos and they just never have a problem or an issue, it makes you feel like you're stupid. I'm like, how do these people never have an issue? Everything I build, something stupid happens. You can shut that if you want, babe.
I just want to do the next part.
You can. Go ahead. Just shut that door. Yeah, that's what I thought too. That end table, yeah. That's what I try to do. Find stuff like that that's simple, but looks good. You know, it's something you can use. Yeah, it's never big enough, huh? A buddy of mine, he moved to another part like 45 minutes out of Vegas, maybe 30 minutes out of Vegas, to a place called Sandy Valley, and he bought like a piece of property out there. There's not a lot out there. They may just now have an airport. But he built himself a garage. It's like 4-car garage. And he has a badass workshop. He's the one that kind of got me into doing this stuff. I think I got the Timberwolf blade too. I'm pretty sure that's where I got my blades from. Yeah, and it works really good, the blades I got. This bandsaw is a lot better than my old one. Like, I really don't know. That's why I don't do a whole lot of tool reviews, because I had my last bandsaw was a piece of crap, and I had it for years, like 10 years. So how am I going to give anybody advice if that's the only thing I've ever used? So I show you what I got and what I'm using, and if it worked for me. But there could be better stuff out there. I don't know. Like, I know like screw guns, like more simple tools, but like bandsaws, this is the first nicer one that I've gotten. Yeah, 4-car garage. Could you imagine that? That'd be so nice. Where'd the Bearded Viking go? Wasn't he in here? Did my live freeze? All of a sudden, everything froze. There it goes. Yeah, the stock blades, some of the blades they send out with these things are pieces of crap. I actually watched a video on how to set this up to make sure I was setting it up right. And the guy said the blade that comes with it, the Grizzly one, he said, throw it away. He said, it doesn't work good. And he was right. Five by five, what's that? Oh, that's your garage 5x5. Damn, man. Thanks, Joe, for rubbing it in. Good for you, brother. Yeah, dude, it's easy to hit a slump in inspiration. I hear you. Sometimes I go on and I look up a bunch of stuff and I'm like, oh man, this is stuff I could build for, I got years of material to build. And then I go back and I look at it, I'm like, I don't like none of this stuff. Standing uphill both ways. Yeah, I try to keep it funny. It's funny how many people, I have a lot of really good comments. All you guys are awesome in the comments. I feel like I'm blessed. Everybody that comes in my comments, it's really good. I was worried that I was going to get, you get a lot of hate online, but the YouTube seems really good. There's every once in a while I get some people that say nasty stuff, but it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Oh, my feet is 5x5. I thought you were talking about your garage. I don't even know what that means that my feet is 5x5. In a slump now in search of projects. You know where to look, dude. Look on what is it? Pinterest. My wife goes on Pinterest all the time, and she's always showing me stuff on there. So I started going on and looking, and there's a lot of stuff on Pinterest. If you there's a lot you have to go through, but there's a lot of stuff on there. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Dan. Are you talking about me? I appreciate you, man. Dan always leaves the best comments, man. You're awesome. Yeah, Pinterest is a good place to look. I like to go on Etsy and look to see what people have, what people are making, and then just like put my own spin on it. Like that box I just did in my Halloween video. I saw a box like sort of like that they put candy in, but it was just a painted pumpkin on the front. So I was like, well, it'd be cool if there was a light in the front. So like I try to like find stuff and then be like, how can I make this better? What's up, Fabio? How you doing, brother? Small tilt window, but now I don't know how I will make it actually tilt. What kind of hardware should I use? Do you have any idea or tip? A small tilt window. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Small tilt window. Is that a certain type of window? I have to look that up, man. I'm not real sure. Does it like tilt in the middle? Maybe you could do some like they sell these dowels that you can use for like louvers on those blinds that you could put on the window, and then it could like turn. You know what I mean? In the opening. Is it for your house? Is it a window on your house? You're gonna build a toy chest? Yeah, I've been wanting to build a toy chest on my, not a toy chest, but a chest. But I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. For my room, because I have like right now in front of my bed, I have a piano bench that I have to sit on to put my shoes on. It's an old fat guy thing. And I was like, well, this piano bench is a waste. I could have a chest here that I could put like blankets and stuff in, and then have a place to sit in front of the bed. So I wanted to build one. I didn't know if anybody would be interested in that, though. What is it? You don't know what is, Dan? A cedar chest. Yeah, mine would probably be out of pine. Or whatever construction lumber they have there. What's the other stuff they make? Construction lumber out of pine and Douglas fir. Oh, tilt window, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to look it up. Because it almost seems like you could put some hinges on one end of it and it would just tilt out, if that's what you're talking about. I'm not real sure what a tilt window is. Mechanical key holder. You can make a cool looking mechanical key holder. What's a mechanical key holder? I don't know what that is either. You guys can see how unknowledgeable I am of stuff. I don't know what a mechanical key holder is. Hey, Michael, how you doing, brother? What's up, Boondock Builds? How you doing, brother? Musician and about to play a show in 10 minutes. Where are you playing your show at? What, do you play an instrument? Very common in Europe. Yeah, I don't think we have those out here. Maybe in the older houses, but I'm not sure what that is. I'd have to like look it up and see. It's fixed with hinges on the bottom and tilts up. Yeah, I'd have to look that up, man. It's probably in like older houses, but like where I live at, Nevada's fairly new out here. There's not a lot of old houses. How do I cool my garage in the summer? I have a laundry room, and my garage is pretty good insulated. Like it always stays about 80 something. Like it's 86 right now, and even when it's 110 outside, my garage stays about between 85 and 90. I just usually open my garage door and the air from inside the house cools it down in here. Because there's a vent right in my laundry room. I mean, it doesn't get it down to as cool as the house, but it keeps it from getting to 100. On the top of it pops something like a cat or a dog. I have to look that up. Yulia, I never heard of that. I bet you if I seen it, I'll be like, oh, I know what they're talking about. I have to look that up. I have a key holder that I wanted to do on a live. One that I used to sell on Etsy a while back. And it's pretty cool. I like it. It has little houses on it. You just use fans in PA? Yeah, everywhere. When I lived in even San Diego, there's not a whole lot of houses with AC. But out here in Las Vegas, I mean, you got to have AC, because if you didn't have AC, the inside of your house would get like over 100 degrees and stuff starts failing. During the 2005, you guys remember when the economy crashed back in 2005 and the housing market crashed? It crashed hard out here in Las Vegas, and we had a lot. I built houses back then, and we had a lot of houses that were just sitting. Nobody was buying houses. So we had a lot of inventory houses, and they sat, and we didn't want to run AC and all the power in them. So they would turn the power off. But then inside the houses, everything would warp. Everything would crack. Even a fan doesn't work out here. But the drywall would crack. The doors would warp. Everything would just warp in the house because it would get so hot. Oh, I think you told me that before, that you lived here back then. So you know what I'm talking about. It gets hot out here. Our AC went out one time in July. And it actually did that a couple times. And it sucked. You grew up in San Diego? I lived in Claremont. I lived in Mira Mesa. When did you live in San Diego? I grew up, well, I went there for high school. I lived in a lot of different states. I grew up, I was born in Pennsylvania. Then I moved to Maryland. Then I moved to San Diego. Then I moved to Nevada. Back in like 93, I moved to Nevada. And I've been here ever since then, 93. What's up? How you doing, brother? How's Latina? How you doing, man? I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, bro. I remember now, York, PA, Dad. Thousands of fans attend. Betty, you got them jokes tonight. He got the good jokes. Betty's coming with the dad jokes. I play violin. I won't leave it in the car because of the heat. Texas. I don't want it stolen, but the heat is a destroyer of wood. It sure is. I got a friend that I went to high school with in San Diego. He lives in Texas now. But I think that's where his family was from. They were in the military, though. You graduated in 1979? Chula Vista. Yeah, I lived in, I think that was close to me, right? I lived in Claremont, Mira Mesa. I lived in Linda Vista. You came here in June. You spent a week at your brother-in-law's house with his family. I was so excited to visit Las Vegas, Home Depot, and casinos. What did you think of the Home Depot here? I think the Home Depot, our Home Depot seems to suck compared to what I see online sometimes. Our wood is crap. The wood they have at Home Depot, it's garbage. It's all warped and bowed, and they just leave it on the shelf like that at full price. Recently built a nice bench from 2x4, but it doesn't matter what I do, it rocks. So I'm looking for the way to fix without destroying or disassemble it. What would you suggest? Recently built a nice bench from 2x4s. It rocks. One thing you could do is they have these feet. You could put feet in the bottom, and they're adjustable. Each one is adjustable. To try to get it straightened out, unless the whole thing is racked, that would work, I would imagine. Because otherwise you have to figure out how to, like, with like a laser level, you could use a laser level and then cut down all your legs. But if you don't want to cut the legs down, I would put those feet on the bottom. Each one of them is adjustable, so you can adjust each one until you get it right. Mike is making stuff. What's up, brother? Probably going to Lowe's tomorrow to get some wood to start on shelves for the wife. I need to put some shelves in my, I have a room with all kinds of keepsakes in it, like transformers and stuff, and I already filled up the shelf I put in there. I got to build another one. Hey, Home Depot is usually a coal cart. Oh, has a coal cart. Good stuff on small projects. Yeah, I always go to that. The clearance cart, yeah, Snyderman. I always do that. As a matter of fact, the last video I did with the pumpkin, I think I even said it in the video. I'm not sure, but no problem, Yulia. Got to build another shelf for the rubber ducks. What rubber ducks you got? I asked the guy at Home Depot, is there spray good for wasps? He said, no, it kills them. Betty. That's funny. Got to go play some music. Good night. Good night, brother. Good luck. Or break a leg. Is that what you say to musicians too, or is that just actors? Purple Edge. Yeah, I had in my last video, Snyderman, I had my board had purple on it. don't know if you remember that. I always get the wood from there, especially when you're building small stuff. When I used to build my triangles, they would have warped 1x4s on there, and I'm only building a triangle this big. I don't need a whole straight board for that. Yeah, take home purple spray paint with you. Yeah. The wife collects them, huh? She has like 100 of rubber ducks. That's crazy, man. I'd like to see that. That's interesting. Are they all the same or are they all different? This chair is hurting my side. Ugh, fat people problems. I think it's the way I'm leaning forward. I think I missed what you were saying, Creature. She wants a corner unit. Oh, the shelves. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I'd like to see that, man. Next time you do a live or something, and I'm in there, you show me that all them ducks. I want to see. What tools would I recommend starting with? Man, I would say a screw gun. You could start with a hand saw. If you could get a miter saw. A lot of people think if you have a table saw, you don't even need a miter saw because you can build a miter sled. So a table saw can do more if you build a miter sled, and then you don't really need a miter saw. Because miter saws take up a lot of space for what they do. Like mine back here. Unless you get the ones with the arms that, like, see all the space that takes up? And my table saw, see how it's like a lot smaller space. So some people say that you can do a table saw and then build a miter sled, and you don't need to get a miter saw. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you, brother. You're awesome, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Dan. That's awesome, dude. How do I do? I can like that? Oh, that's awesome. Have a good one, Carolyn. I appreciate you coming into the live. She doesn't have a single duplicate. It's knucking futs, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I would like to see that collection. I've never heard of anybody collecting rubber ducks. But I mean, it's interesting. I'm not knocking her. I'm a grown man. I'm collecting all these toys. Did you guys? I just banged my knee. My drawer was sticking out. Did you guys like my Halloween Hulk? The mask is from, it was a necklace. See the thing on top? I ordered a necklace off of Amazon. It fit him perfectly. And he even had a little Halloween bucket. Yeah, I can't knock nobody for their collection, man. I got all kinds of toys upstairs. A speed square, a jigsaw, a drill. That's bare minimum. I agree, Mike. A speed square, a drill. Yeah, you got to have a drill, a good screw gun. Doesn't have to be Milwaukee. Milwaukee's really expensive. Almost, it's too expensive for my blood. That's why I don't have too much Milwaukee stuff. But I like them. They work good. But Ryobi's probably good enough. Some people love the Ryobi batteries. They last a long time for them. I don't know if it's because I live in the heat. They don't last very long for me. But other than that, their stuff's not bad. It'll get the job done. What's a good fall non-Halloween project? I got a fall video. I think it was Ole I saw. He just did a a really cool scarecrow for the front porch. That was really cool. I've been seeing a lot of cool fall videos lately. And I have one up. I'm working on one. I'm working on a fall one that I'm going to do. And I'll put it up. Team Teal. I like Makita too. That was my first drill, was Makita. The only reason I went with Milwaukee is because where I get my tools at the Home Depot, they have a ton of Milwaukee stuff there. They got more Milwaukee than anything. I did have DeWalt, but I heard they're not going to be carrying DeWalt much. Okay, that'd be awesome, brother. Yeah, I want to see the ducks. That's awesome. Thank you. Buy a lot of tools at Harbor Freight. Yeah, Harbor Freight has some good stuff. You just gotta like be a little bit like, some stuff they have is crappy, but some stuff is good. I heard a lot of their power tools are good. I haven't used them myself though to recommend them. You're gonna need a tape measure or something to measure with. Actually, like a tape measure, the more I do woodworking, a tape measure is not really the best for fine measuring. So like a nice ruler would be nice. So something to measure with. Have our Ryobi and Porter cable stuff. How's Porter cable? All right, brother. I'll check it out after the live. I'll go check it out. Thank you. That sounds interesting. So tools, beginner tools. Yeah, you need a way to attach stuff. So either a good, like a way, dowels, you can use dowels, pocket hole screws, joining stuff together. You need a good way to join stuff. Unless you want to learn like box joints and stuff like that right away. But I would go with like they even have like they have a lot of different, what do you call them? I just said the word and I don't remember it now. I'm having a brain fart, guys. What does this thing do? In the style of steampunk. I have to look that up. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, I've seen it before, but I don't know how you would build something in that style. Spiral cut planer. That's awesome, dude. Vever, that's the really good one, isn't it? That everybody recommends. Single measuring instrument, relative measurements, and story sticks, etc. Okay, I'll have to check out your video, Mike. Yeah, the more I do woodworking, the more I realize that a tape measure isn't the best thing for measuring. And I don't know if anybody's noticed in my videos, I've been using a lot more rulers and stuff like that. I mean, even a regular ruler, you can get these ones. I'll show you this one I got. I just got this Hyper Tough one from Walmart. They have smaller ones than this. Just check, because sometimes you get these, you'll get a really crappy one. And when you put it out against another tape measure or something like that, the more inches you go, the more it starts to go off. So like the first 6 inches may be good, but then you get to like 40 inches and you're like off for some reason. So a good measuring way to measure stuff. You can do a lot of stuff with a flush cut saw. Yeah, that's what I started with. I started with the miter saw. It was the old Ryobi miter saw. And then I got a table saw. Pocket holes, yeah. That's what I don't know why I couldn't think of pocket holes. They have cheaper ones that are like off brands on Amazon, but you need a good way to join wood together. And pocket holes is the easiest. Some people knock them, but they work good. A lot of people, oh man, I'm missing all these messages. My thing was stuck. Yeah, pocket holes. So far, I've been to Walmart and Fort Myers with me heading to the car wash now. LOL. Porter cable hasn't been bad. Some tools overheat quickly. Oh, that's interesting to know. I haven't heard that. Pocket holes. Yep. That's your top 3 worst tools purchased that were over 100. Oh, what's my worst 3? Oh, I'm sorry. My top 3 worst tool purchases that were over 100. I don't have too many tools that are over 100. My old table saw that I don't have anymore, that was over 100. My old bandsaw, but that was only $99. I barely used it. I had it for like 10, 15 years, and I barely used it because it was just underpowered, really underpowered. And then my table saw, it was kind of underpowered, but the worst thing was there was no miter slots. There was no real good way to adjust the fence, so it was always off. It was the old Ryobi, the dark blue stuff. And man, what else do I have that was over $100? Yeah, I don't have too many tools over $100, to be honest with you. I got my table saw. Now, I did a video of some of the worst tools, and I listed my miter saw. My miter saw was well over $100. The new one that I have, the DeWalt, it's a really powerful miter saw, but for my space, like I said earlier, it doesn't fit in here. It doesn't fit in my garage very well. I just have to leave it right in the middle like that because of that, the big arm on the back of it. They make a lot of miter saws that now they have other miter saws, like Bosch has one. I think Makita has one where it's zero clearance. So you can put the miter saw right up against the wall. So if I could do it again, like if I wouldn't have just bought that a few years ago and spent like whatever it was, like $500-600 on it, I would get a Bosch one and then put it right up against the wall. Yeah, my miter saw. I built some Adirondack chairs about 10 years ago, but the plans were metric. I brought a metric tape measure. I have come to believe it's better than Imperial, but only use it when working on models. Yeah, I'd probably have to agree, Snyderman. Metric is probably way superior. There's a couple things that, sometimes you have to do stuff in metric, and because it measures in metric. Like sometimes you get plywood and it's easier to measure it in metric than it is to measure it in the 11, whatever it is, like 15/16 or, whatever weird size is. What is the weird size that they always do? The half inch. It's not really half inch, but sometimes it's easier to measure that stuff in metric. And I'd agree. I don't really know how to use metric, and it'd be really hard to convert and try to figure it out. But yeah, I kind of think metric is superior. I don't know if people like that opinion, but I think it is. I think it's a superior way to measure. But like when I was building something, I needed metric drill bits, and I couldn't find metric drill bits anywhere. I had to order them on Amazon. And I went to Harbor Freight. I went all over. I could not find metric drill bits. It was for I ordered some barrel hinges. I don't know if you guys have ever used barrel hinges on the box that I made. And they come in metric, and they were 4mm. And someone said, when I looked it up, don't try to use the equivalent in standard Imperial sizes because the barrel hinges work off of tightness. You want them to be tight in there. So if you're a little bit over, then it's not going to be tight. But then somebody told me 4mm I could have done because it would have been a little bit smaller. So I guess it all depends on the size you're using. Right, Joe? Yeah, I don't know a lot of metric either. I wish I did. Like when I watch videos and they're talking about stuff in centimeters and stuff, I cannot picture how big that is. What's up, Armando? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the live, brother. We're talking about metric. Somebody said they think metric is better than imperial for measuring. And I agree. You have a Cobalt 10-inch miter saw. I put it on a rigid miter saw stand. I don't have a shed or a garage, so I have to keep my miter saw and table saw inside my house. You keep it inside the house? My wife would kill me, dude. She would never let me keep tools inside the house like that, especially a miter saw making all that dust. That's funny, creature. Does it make a lot of dust, or do you hook it to your vacuum? Sometimes you use metric, but the whole project is metric. I've never done a whole project in metric. There's only been a few things that I've ever done in metric. One was those barrel hinges, and like I said, sometimes plywood, it's easier to do in metric. Like when you're trying to figure out, like, I just watched this dude. He showed how to do those, what are they? Quarter by quarter by quarter joints. Am I saying that right? Quarter by quarter by quarter joints. And he was doing 1/2 inch, and he shows how if you do metric, it's more accurate for the 1/2 inch than trying to do the standard size that the 1/2 inch is calling out. Everything you own is Ryobi. You know what? I got a lot of Ryobi stuff. A lot of my original stuff was Ryobi. The only problem I had with it was, like I said, my batteries kept dying, and I had to keep buying new batteries. So I had DeWalt for a little while, and DeWalt I had for a long time, and then those batteries ended up dying. Just a screw gun. I didn't have a lot of DeWalt stuff, just a screw gun. The rest I had was Ryobi. So I was like, man, I'm going to switch to a different battery now that my DeWalts are gone, and I switched to Milwaukee. But they're just so freaking expensive for everything. Yeah, I barely ever use metric either, but I do think it is a superior way. They even have, like, when you're doing off-sites, like building houses, when they're doing the measurements for off-sites, they use 1/10 of an inch, which is crazy to me. So instead of having, or am I thinking, or is it 1/10 of a foot? I think it's 1/10 of a foot. So instead of saying 12 inches, they go in 1/10 of a foot. It's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know how who came up with that, to do 1/10 of a foot rather than 12, but rather than the inches. Yeah, Milwaukee's pricey, man. What? DeWalkita? Isn't there a dude that makes a shirt that says that? DeWalkita? I have a hard time choosing whether to buy cord, battery, or pneumatic. If it's something that stays in the shop. I prefer battery, even if it's staying in the shop. I mean, you're going to save money by getting a cord, but just having the cord in the way all the time. Same with pneumatic. You still have the air hose in the way all the time. Yeah, I prefer battery, just because I don't want to have a cord in the way. I hate that, like, at my computer desk, all the cords that are all over the place. Yeah, you use them in the summer. Yeah, the heat, man, will wipe them batteries out. I did a video and I talked about the batteries, and a lot of people were saying that their Ryobi batteries lasted them 10 years and stuff. I don't know if they used them as much as I used mine. I don't know how often they used them, but they said it lasts them 10 years. Mine lasted me about a year, and then they started going out. Even the newer ones. But I do hear the new Ryobi batteries, they have a new I don't even know what they call them. They're a different, totally different battery now. And they have a name for them. I can't remember what they are. But I heard those are really good. I thought about getting some because I still have a lot of Ryobi stuff. While my cut goes off the track when I'm using the track saw. You know, it doesn't go off the track when I'm using the track saw, but when I was using the, what is it called? Rip guide. I don't know why. When I got to the end, and I think it's because when you get to the end, your rip guide isn't supported as much when you get to the end of the board. And I think I was just going off because I was reaching out. I have no idea, but I did it consistently. Mine had a wave in it consistently, all on the one side. But I could have done it on the first one, and then because it's a rip guide, that's one thing that sucks about the rip guides. If you make a cut and the very first cut you make, you go crooked or off, your rip guide's going to follow that curve after that. So every cut you make after that is going to be off. That's one good thing about a track saw. It doesn't rely on your first cut. You have so many different brands. Yeah, I have. I got 3 different. I actually have all 4. I have, I have my Milwaukee, and then I got Ryobi, and then I even got a Makita. This one was on clearance, and all I do with this one is I keep the man, I'm drawing a brain fart today. I keep that bit in there. That's all I do with my Makita. The new Ryobi batteries are great. Yeah, I heard that, man. I heard that. I'm going to get a couple. You know what? I thought I did get some because I just bought the new... I got the new Ryobi nail gun was the last Ryobi tool I bought. This one right here. Is this the new batteries? I don't think it is it? That's not what it's called. There's a name for them. These are just the old ones, I guess. I thought I got the new batteries too when I got this. But I just got this not that long ago. It was on a really good sale. I think I got the gun free for buying a battery pack. But I don't think it ended up being the good batteries. I think it was some of their old batteries. They're probably trying to get rid of them. But that's a really good nail gun. I've never used any other one, but besides that, I used the old Ryobi one. The old Ryobi one sucked. It was really bad. But that one worked pretty good. My table saw does take a dado stack. There's different sizes though. I can't put in the biggest one, the biggest dado stack, but I could do the next one down. I'm not exactly sure. I don't even own a dado stack because they were so expensive. I do want to get one eventually, but I've never used a dado stack. I just do one blade and I just keep passing until I get all the way through. You got the Makita corded and cordless track saw. That's awesome, man. Those are expensive. That's awesome. You know, I got the, I showed it in a video. I have the Craig track saw. And it's really good for the price. Like, I thought it was going to be maybe crappy. It worked really good. My cuts were straight. I didn't have any problems with it. I built a little thing out of plywood. I don't know if you guys saw that video. It worked great. I did not have any problems with that one. Their rip guide I had problems with, but their track saw, it had all the same features that you would want. It had the anti-kickback. It had the anti-splintering. It had a riving knife. It had all the features you would want from a track saw. And it was like, was it $299? It was $299, and then the track was $99. So it was $400 total for one track. One thing that did piss me off was I bought the track, and then I bought another one so I could go, because the tracks only come in 62 inches, I think. So I bought a second track so I could go full length of plywood, you know, the 8 foot. Well, I didn't know, because they don't sell them at Lowe's, the connectors to put them together, they don't come with either of them. You got to buy them separately online, and I think they're like $50 just for these metal connectors to put the two things together. They're like half the price of the whole track. So I was kind of mad about that. I still haven't gotten one. I got 2 tracks, but I can't put them together. All right, Snyder, man, have a good night, brother. Oh, my thing stopped. I don't know when you left. Yeah, they should. I wish they would. I wish one of them would sponsor me, man. I would even take Ryobi to sponsor me and send me some free stuff. You have the Bauer handgun. I mean handgun. Nail gun. Do they make handguns? You're talking about Ryobi batteries? What did I miss that you said about Ryobi batteries? Did I say something different? Bro, I live in Kingman. Weather is not much different than Nevada, but I let my batteries cool off before I charge them. And so how do they last you a long time, Jeremy? I think parts of Arizona get hotter than here, don't they? What's your temperature there right now, Jeremy? It's 89 here. Our high today was only 91. High performance edge battery. Yeah, I don't have those. I guess I didn't get those. But I got the nail gun free with buying a battery pack. You know how Home Depot does those sales all the time? Star Wars or Star Trek. I like both those shows. Like I don't have really none of the stuff. I would say I like Star Wars better. Not any of the new Star Wars, the old Star Wars. I don't like none of the new stuff that they've come out with. Or any of the shows that they've come out with. Those are kind of weird. I did like The Mandalorian. That was pretty good. You've never replaced a battery? How long did you say it? Did you say how long it was? I don't know if you said how long you've had them. See, so Jeremy, today was 85. Yeah, so it was a little bit hotter here today. But I think sometimes it's hotter where you live, and then sometimes it's hotter here. But yeah, with the other battery systems I've had, like the Milwaukee and the DeWalt, I didn't have to do any of that. I would be done with my battery, and I would put it on the charger. I didn't have to do anything special to make them last. So I probably could have done stuff to make the Ryobi last longer. And maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that would be worth the because it's a lot cheaper. I know that for Ryobi. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you, brother. Matt Splat 101. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, I don't know. I like it because I don't have to do anything special for even my Makitas. I had a Makita. The old Makita, you know, with the long batteries that you slide up into the thing like a clip. That was my first screw gun, was one of them old Makitas. That battery lasted me forever. Even years after, even like 10 years after I had it, you would squeeze the trigger and it would still turn. I didn't even have it charged. I just had it sitting in a box because I had gotten a new Makita. And it still would it just didn't last very long. Like it would take out 2 screws and then it would be done. One Ryobi battery that you had for 8 years. Damn, dude. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you know, I might have been able to get longer use out of them if I would have done stuff differently. But I just appreciate like that I had a DeWalt batteries. I didn't have to do anything special. I just used them as normal. I didn't have to baby them. And I like that. You know what I mean? That I didn't have to do that. I do like the 10-inch Grizzly, Wesley. I do. I was actually able to resaw some wood with it that I've never been able to do that with my old one because anything thicker than a couple inches, my old one would just stop. This one I actually, so far I think I did a 1x6 was the biggest I've done. So what is that, like 5 inches? I resawed a 5-inch 1x6. 5-inch 1x6. A 5-inch board. And it handled it no problem. And it was a nice cut, nice clean cut. My old one, I couldn't do that. Dang, autocorrect. I know, I hate that autocorrect. You had terrible luck with the DeWalt batteries? That's crazy, man. Yeah, you know what? It just goes to show you, like, in the comments, when I did that video, like, a lot of people were saying DeWalt or Ryobi was crap and they hated it. And then other people were saying they loved Ryobi, like, they never had a problem with it. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I do know that sometimes, like, when you go to buy any of these tool systems, especially Ryobi or like DeWalt, like back in the day at Home Depot, they were different. Like I went and they had at one time back in probably the early 2000s, you could get a Ryobi screw gun, the blue one, for $20 at Home Depot, like during a Christmas Black Friday thing. $20. I think I bought 2 of them. But later I found out that they didn't have, like, you know how you like can do this and go slow and, you know, you pull the trigger and then it can go faster. It didn't have that on there. So I think sometimes you get stuff, and especially me, I try to buy everything on sale. They sell stuff at like Black Friday time, and that's usually when I buy stuff. And I don't think it's as good as the regular stuff. I saw a guy, he did a video where he was buying, and I want to say it was DeWalt. And he went and bought a DeWalt kit, and the kit was supposed to be brushless. That's what it said on the whole kit. But when he got it, only a couple things were brushless, and the other stuff wasn't. And he said that the batteries he bought, I don't know if anybody saw that video, the batteries he bought said brushless on them. But the tool itself wasn't brushless. So he like did a whole video about it, and DeWalt contacted him. And I think, if I remember correctly, they sent him new stuff. But yeah, he bought a DeWalt kit because it was supposed to be brushless. And then he got it, and just the battery said brushless, and maybe 1 or 2 of the tools were brushless. But they put some of their old stuff into the kit, and it was one of them sales. And I think that happens sometimes. Occasional warped board will sometimes hang up in the blade. I haven't had that yet, man. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the throat. Yeah, I think it catches on there sometimes. I have had that before. I thought maybe I needed to cut a new insert for it. I thought maybe that's what the problem was the insert was warped. But yeah, so anyways, this guy, he got a DeWalt. And so I think when you buy stuff that's the Black Friday sales or the deals, I think that you're getting a cheaper version than you would if you just were to buy the screw gun. And I think sometimes that's why people have different experiences, because they may have gotten it on one of those clearances and then they get home and the battery dies. That's awesome, man. That's the only problem you have. Yeah, that's the only problem I've had too. I also I got the Skill table saw, and I've actually encountered a problem with that. Trim router from Harbor Freight, and you love it. It works great. That's good, brother. That's really good. Yeah, you know what? There's not a whole lot of things you can go wrong with a trim router. Like, I got the Ryobi one. I actually have 2 Ryobi ones. My wife bought me one for Christmas, and I already had bought one, and she didn't know it. So I actually have 2. I just haven't taken the other one out of the box yet. Yeah, I don't think there's not too many. That I've noticed. The only problem I have with the DeWalt, and I've said it in a video, is it's sometimes hard to where do you hold the thing at? You know what I mean? Like if you hold it here, it's kind of top heavy, but it seems like that's where they want you to hold it. Like, I don't know what this is supposed to be for. Is that the handle? Like, what is that? That little rubber grip area. It's almost like you're supposed to hold it like this. Like, what is that part for? I don't understand. So I hold it down here, but then it's a little bit top heavy. That's the only problem I have with this, is there's no good way to hold it. Other than that, it's powerful enough to do everything I've tried to do with it. You guys know why, how you're supposed to hold this thing? Like, look, like, where do you hold this at when you're using it? I always hold it down here, but one day I was holding it down here, my finger went inside of here, and it touched the spinning, it's not the blade, but you could still get your finger caught in there, and that would probably hurt. But yeah, I touched that in there when I was like moving it around a board. I stuck my finger in there because there's no real good place to hold this thing that I can figure out. You're just here for the bench cookies? Yeah, I like bench cookies. A lot of people are saying there's other ways to do it, but I mean, for $8 and you get 4 of them, you can't go wrong with a bench cookie. What is that? Do they DABA slimmer battery? What's DABA? Are you saying yabba dabba do? Oh, do a what? Do they do a slimmer battery? I think they do have a smaller battery. But it's a lower amperage, I think. It's the I have a slimmer battery, but it's a lower amperage. This one's the 4 Ahs. What does that stand for? AH. Amp hours? 4 Ahs. I have one, but it's only 2 amp hours. So I always put the bigger one in there just because I feel like you need the more powerful battery. But I do have a slimmer battery. I think Ryobi has come a very long way for the price. I honestly, like, if I was to start over, the Ryobi stuff they have nowadays, I think is much better than the blue stuff I had a long time ago. And like I said, that nail gun, I have no complaints with it. Their trim router, I have no complaints with it. I still have a lot of Ryobi stuff. Like, look, I got the brushless saw. I have no problems with it. Works great. I've never used another one. And look, I got all that Ryobi stuff over there. But when I first bought Ryobi, it was when it was the dark blue stuff. And like their miter saw was good, but my table saw sucked. So some stuff is good. Some stuff is good, just like anything. Some stuff's good and some stuff you gotta like really shop around. Yeah, you know, it might work. I could probably get away with putting the 2 amp in there. I just like to try to put the higher amp battery in there. And maybe some of their newer batteries, they have the thinner batteries in a higher amperage. But from what I've seen, the thinner batteries are usually a lower amperage. The crown stapler, I haven't tried the crown stapler. I think that was one of the things they had too on clearance, was a crown stapler or the nail gun. And now I love my pneumatic nail gun because there's no like weight. You could just pop, 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 pop. But it was nice when I was doing some work in the house. That's why I bought that. I was doing beadboard in the house, and I think I put up some pictures. And it was nice to not have to bring my hose in there and my compressor. Yeah, Dan, I agree with you. Look, Dan, you're number 1. What does that mean when somebody has the crown of number 1? Does that mean you're the number 1 in here? You're the number 1 in my heart too, Dan. When am I going to make a second channel about crochet? When you said it, made me laugh. Second channel, yeah. I wish I could. You know what? That's funny is everybody was making fun of me for that because I was holding a knitting book. Is that what it is? And I was knitting something, but I was calling it I said I was making a knitting channel, but I was really crocheting. So you picked up on it. You knew I was crocheting. I didn't. I didn't know what I was doing. My wife used to do one of the two, so she knew I was doing it wrong. She's the first one that told me. She's like, it's not knitting, it's crocheting that you're doing. Yeah, last video I said I'm going to make an exercise channel too. Watch out for JASCO exercise channel. All right, guys, I'm about to get off. My wife's texting me and telling me dinner's almost ready and my battery's about to die on my phone. I'm down to 16%. I appreciate you guys all coming in here. I really appreciate all you guys, the way you guys leave comments on my videos. You guys watch my videos. I think like you guys are the best. I think the woodworking community is the best. I think it's something about woodworking. Where to hide the candy bars. I've done that in a video before. You got to put them in here. Here's your candy bar thing. Look, it looks like just another. I don't have candy bars in there. I got toothpicks. My wife saw the video and stole all my candy bars. Later, Tater. Thank you, Zoidberg, for coming in. I appreciate all you guys. You guys are really awesome, man. I really do appreciate it. I feel like, you know, when I'm answering comments, I tell you guys I appreciate you, and I don't want it to become like, oh, he says that to everybody. But I really do. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. I know, like, woodworking is getting to be very competitive. So any views anybody can get doing woodworking videos is really appreciated. Thanks, you Ace. I appreciate you. My wife said, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you, Yulia. I appreciate you. Am I saying your name right, Yulia Bryant? Am I saying your name right, Yulia? Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that, man. I try to be... Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we'll have to come up with something to do on live, like, or some kind of discussion. We were all over the place tonight. We started off with cartoons and shows and then ended up with, I will continue to motivate. Ended up with tools. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate it. Thank you, Rustic. I appreciate you. All right, guys. I might come back on tomorrow. I'm trying to get some more lives up before the end of the month. I'm in this YouTube program where they want me to do like so many lives. It's just hard to do because I don't know what to say in a live. You know, I don't know what to do for it. But I'm going to try to do some more. All right, guys. Have a good night. I really appreciate you guys. Get to building.